So we're now recording, and so welcome everyone to our NCDPI conference meeting for the Cisco Networking Academy and updates. My name is Kelly Caudle, and with me is Jesse Pagan. Jesse's there right below me here in his video. Jesse is our business development manager for the state of North Carolina and also for the Southeast region. So Jesse and I have worked together closely to implement some of the things that have happened in the state of North Carolina in the past year, especially the new PCAP vouchers that I will talk to you about with the Python vouchers. Jesse was instrumental in getting me in touch with the OpenEDG people and getting that worked out. So we're very, very glad to have Jesse here. If you don't know who I am the head of our Cisco Networking Academy Support Center and Instructor Training Center at Stanley Community College. We are actually you can kind of see behind me here, the Golden Bridge Award winner. We were the Golden Bridge Award winner for North America for Best Academy Support Center in all of North America. So that's both US and Canada. We're very, very proud of that. And we're very thankful for all of you because you helped us do it. Really, your Cisco academies and what you do at those academies are why we were a Golden Bridge winner. And we really appreciate that. My day-to-day job is to support the Cisco Networking Academies in the state of North Carolina. Thank you, Kim. In the state of North Carolina, and also in, I just looked today, I'm actually now in 14 other states and the District of Columbia. So we're now supporting 198 schools as of this morning and picked up a new one, so 199. So we will break 200 sometime this week, no doubt, with a large number of schools up in Maryland actually starting to come on board with us. So I've been here and part of the Networking Academy for over 20 years. In fact, I actually came back to Stanley Community College to start the Cisco Networking Academy here and have been here since 98, 99, working in the academy. Jesse, here's a slide that I have that's is the Cisco Academy in North Carolina. It's our infographic. I know one of the things you like to do a lot of times is talk a little bit about this infographic. So if you want to take a few minutes just to kind of go over the infographic and just discuss what it's showing to folks and how the Academy has an effect.
Absolutely. These were previously called the state impact profiles, because it's the impact that we have at the Cisco NetAcad level in each one of the states. I also happen to manage the military for NetAcad in the United States, and we have one for DoD, military, and so forth. So this one is particular to North Carolina. So as you can see here, in the United States, I think the number that jumps off the screen is we've contributed since inception for the last 23 or so years, close to $1 billion to education. You can see that 814 million there, which is almost $1 billion by now. And part of that has been about 35 or so million. It says 32, but about 35 million in North Carolina. And it just keeps on going and going. These are all done in reference to in-kind contribution value, and as much as we give from the LMS, from the courseware portion, we do work with Kelly Caudle, as he mentioned, in terms of instructor scholarships via grants, right? It just goes on and on. So we're very proud of being able to provide that across the United States, Canada, and the globe. And, right now we have about 2.4 million active students around the globe. And we're growing North Carolina at an enormous pace. And that's why Kelly's so proud of that golden award they received just recently, because they've done a tremendous job in helping us grow the state of North Carolina and other states. So kudos to them for that. But that's typically what I like to talk about on this particular slide. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Jesse. And the other thing I want you to realize that when it says free, the courses are free. Mm-hmm. One of the things we do, and if there are any CT directors in here, we do charge a support fee for our academies that are associated with our Cisco Academy Support Center. We charge $300 per year for high schools. We also have a special deal for districts to where we do $600 for a district up to 6 schools, and then $100 for every school above that. But then there's no per student fee for the curriculum. There's no per student fee to use any of the curriculums. Once you're a Cisco Academy, you can use every curriculum that's under there that you have instructors qualified to teach. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about today in our meeting. So today I want to talk about the CCNA updates. I want to talk a little bit about the Python updates, some additional modules you may want to look at. In particular, we're going to look mainly at Linux Essentials, because I think that's one that slots in very easily for you to use at no additional cost and no instructor training. And then spend a few minutes talking about, if you are a CT director and you want to start an academy at your site, the process, and we'll just get in touch with me and we'll work you through the process. But let's start out with, first off, the CCNA version 7. So I'm gonna actually pull this down. Actually, Jason, I'm gonna turn my video off and just turn off video so that it'll clear up the screen. If you'll do the same, you'll turn your, there you go. Because there's really no need to see my ugly face. We'll come back at the end there. But right now, many of you may not know, but there is a version 7.02 that has been released, and it was released earlier in the year. And it was really developed because of COVID and because of the need for what they call packet tracer physical mode, or PTPM. And I'll show you that in just a minute. But this is the version I would recommend that if you're teaching any of the net courses right now, that you would use this version 7. And when you go in to create these courses, or you create a course as a version 7, you literally just create course, and then you're going to select for your college. I've got a lot of colleges under me, by the way, if you ever wonder what happens when you've been associated with it for 20 years. But you'll do Introduction to Networks, which would be the first net course. And then you get a couple options here. And one of the first options is to select your language and version. Well, 7.02 is the version I would recommend you use. But I will tell you, if you teach using 7.02, you must have Packet Tracer version 8 installed on your machines. Or I'm going to show you a great thing we've developed for you that will help you out. If you're having trouble with your students with Chromebooks and Packet Tracer, we have a way to help you out through Stanley Community College's Academy Support Center. But I'm going to select this as version 2. And I'm actually just you just put in the course name and go through there. But I'm going to pull up a 7.02 class that I already have existing. So here it is. I've created one as an example for you. But one of the things that's, of course, it's going to ask me to put in my email address right when, even though I'm already logged in. So let me stop the share and I'll do it. Logged in here. And then we will begin sharing again. Oh, if you do have any questions, take yourself off mute. You can easily do that by clicking the on the lower left-hand corner of your screen, unmute yourself. Will someone please let me know that you're seeing the Introductions to Network 7.02 NCDPI example?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So this is, you'll notice it really looks no different in terms of the course layout from a 7.01, but the difference comes in when you look at the course content. And one of the very first things added, and this has been added to all version 7.02s, and that is a couple videos telling you how to install Packet Tracer and how to download it. And then there's a Packet Tracer 105 right here. Now this particular Packet Tracer does again require Packet Tracer version 8, as do all version 7.02 of the CCNA classes. But what this has been developed for, it has been developed to allow you to even do things like rack and stack inside of Packet Tracer. And the idea was, during COVID, we didn't have the ability to be in the classroom. And so they added this functionality to Packet Tracer. Honestly, even if you are back in the classroom, I recommend that you use version 7.02 and Packet Tracer 8 because of this rack and stack functionality and what it can allow you to do if you don't have enough equipment in your classroom for all your students to be working on equipment at the same time. Some of them can be doing labs inside of Packet Tracer with this new version, and they will be able to see a whole different setup than what they've seen in the past. Now, I will tell you this, some of these new Packet Tracers are large and they take a little while to load. So if you are loading them from local machines, for instance, mine is still loading now on my machine here, but it just finished loading. This is the Packet Tracer, and it gives you an example of an undersea cable connecting Warrington, Oregon up to Seward, Alaska. But if you click here, click on the branch office, and then click in the wiring closet, we actually drive all the way down into the wiring closet itself. This particular lab has you connect, pulling cables off of the pegboard and connecting them to devices, onto the different cables. And you actually can look at the back side of a device. So you can actually click on this and you can inspect the rear and see the rear of the cable. So you can actually put the cable into the console. So now it's RS-232 up to the console. Now you've got that connection. Then you can go to the PC, go to the desktop, open up a terminal, and have access to that router via a cable. So you pulled it down off the pegboard and done an actual configuration. There are even labs that allow you to pull over devices and put them into the rack and then power them. And so you can actually rack and stack, and you can build new packet tracers with PT version 8 that you do yourself, that you can put in any kind of devices you want to rack and stack. You can have them pull over, IP phones. You can put IP, now obviously that didn't go very well, but you can move one of these over and then put an IP phone on here. So it even tells you to power it off before you put it on the storage shelf. So all kind of neat things you can do with this new version of packet tracer that was not available in PT 7.02 or 03. So if you're going to be teaching and you're teaching inside of the Cisco Academy using the networking classes, I strongly recommend using 702. Just make sure that you have packet tracer version 8. Now, I know there's problems for you at times with packet tracer. For instance, we know Chromebooks will not run packet tracer. So what we did is we worked hand in hand with NDG, Network Development Group, to build a packet tracer pod. Okay, so what we have is we have a pod that anybody with a HTML5 browser, so Chromebooks work perfectly, can come in here, log in, and I'm just going to put my email in because I'm not worried about it. My email is not like it's not common knowledge. And if you can somehow listen to my keyboard and get my password, then you're better than me. I'll make sure I put in the right one. But this is, the students will come in, they'll log in. Oh, I know why. I'm using the wrong password. You got so many passwords. If you're like me, you put in. So students will log in to this competitions.stanley.edu. They will then log in using their NetAcad account, and then they can actually go to NetAcad, log in, and download the packet tracers you want them to do. Complete the packet tracer in this pod, upload it into NetAcad for you, and they never have to load packet tracer on their local machine, and you never have to load packet tracer on any of your machines in your lab. So if you're getting a lot of pushback from your IT department and they will not let you put packet tracer on your machines, or you only have Chromebooks and you don't have a way to do this, I want you to write down Michael's contact information. Michael Bowden is our new Academy Support Specialist, and he would be with us today in this meeting. But this is actually the first day of our faculty break. So I told him I would take care of the day's meeting and let him have his faculty break. But if you will email Michael, we will give you access to these pods for free. The only thing you have to do is we create you an instructor account, and then we create your class for you, and you're responsible for creating the student accounts and taking care of password resets and those types of things. But we have a document and videos that show you how to do this. So if you're struggling with packet tracer, we have a solution for you right now. How many of you think this will be helpful for you as we go forward in the new year, the packet tracer pods?
Kelly, this is Sharon. I do have a quick question.
Okay.
When they're using this, and I think I started on it last year, where does the instructor pull the report to see what the student actually did? I think that was more of an issue last year, trying to understand it. Okay.
What you would need to do instead of it, as far as pulling a report for what the student does, what you're wanting them to do is you're wanting them. So for instance, let's imagine that I'm a student in this Introduction to Networks course right here, this first course that I actually have. They would come in here, they would log into NetLabs. They would then go in and log into, and I am going to stop this share just for a second. They're going to log into NetAcad. Okay, so they'll log in with their normal NetAcad account, just like normal. And let me get logged in here, and I apologize that I like showing you the actual things instead of having little screenshots. Actually, I can't seem to type the right passwords today. Okay, I'm trying to, oh, because I got the wrong username. Finally, okay. Now let me reshare my screen. All right, so your students in here, they're in their course, you know, they're taking the course. You've assigned a packet tracer, and I'll show you an example of what I did with a class I'm currently teaching. I have, for the very first packet tracer, I have an upload of the assignment that I have made right here. See this upload? So if the student completes this packet tracer, what they would then do is they would upload it into NetAcad. You then, as an instructor, open that up and look to see what they scored. So for instance, I'm in here right now with this packet tracer. And if I go, maybe go and open this one under course content. I'm actually going to pick one that's a little smaller, only because it is, that one takes so long to load. Oops. So I'm going to pick a smaller packet tracer. I'm going to find the one that's basic switch settings, is configure initial switch settings. So let's say you assign this to your student. So they're going to log into the pod, they're going to log into NetAcad, and they're going to go in here and download this and open it with packet tracer. All right. So once they open it up, all right, you'll notice completion is 0% right now. So what they would do is, you know, they go through here and do the lab. So let's see, the first thing it says is set the name to S1. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to hit enter a couple times. I'll click in here and hit enter a couple times. En host name S1. All right. So now if I look at the packet tracer activity, I should have 6%. At this point, what the student would do is they do file save as, and what I always tell them to do is to name it the full name and then their last name. All right, click save. And then you would literally then have them upload it to the class itself. So they would then go in here to wherever this particular upload is, click on it and upload their assignment. And then you open it from inside of here and you will then see their completion percentage and you will know what they did. All right.
Thank you.
Now, let's say you think for some reason somebody's cheating. Students would never cheat, would they? That would never happen. Well, okay. We actually have a way, if an instructor needs to know, I can actually go in here and we can look under usage, labs, and we can actually pick a pod. And you can do this as an instructor, and I can teach you how to do this, and you'll see who all's done labs, and you'll see how long they were in, and you'll see what, you can't see exactly what lab they did because it's just the lab itself. I don't mind showing these, by the way, because this is all my coworkers, so they're not gonna, we've been playing with these pods. But this, we can actually look and see. I can teach you how to do this very easily so that you can say, well, you uploaded this packet tracer, but you never did a reservation and did any work. So there are ways for us to ensure students are doing their work. Does that help?
It does help. Thank you.
Okay. So that's something actually during COVID, we shared our NetLab systems, those pods, especially with about 700 students at 40 different schools, which was very important, very important. All right. Any questions on the CCNA updates? That's really the biggest things that have taken place on the CCNA side. Now on the Python side, many of you are here because you've started teaching Programming Essentials in Python as your second Python class. And along with that, we do also have the Introduction to IoT, which is a secondary part that we put in. A new version of the Python Programming Essentials in Python class was released in February of 2021. It's really just a cleanup and a restructuring of the content It's not a major difference in terms of what the content is. It's just a little bit different in terms of the way that it is presented. Now I'm going to show you an example of the two courses side by side so you can kind of see them. We do offer the Programming Essentials in Python class through what is called our IT Academy. It doesn't teach you how to teach the class, but it teaches you the class content. So if anyone's interested in taking that, they're going to be, say, teaching it in the spring. We will have a new course this fall that will be available. We just actually provided through the Carolina Cyber Network grants for instructors to be able to take the class this summer. And I'm actually providing free PCAP vouchers for those instructors who successfully completed the class. But you'll notice what they really did with this version 2 is they created a class and said there's a program, Python Essentials 1 with these 4 modules, and then Python Essentials 2 with these 4 modules. The first 4 relate to the PCEP exam. All of them together relate to the PCAP, which is what we are looking at our students doing in the state of North Carolina. So let's go into NetAcad real quickly, and let's look at a version 1.10 versus 2. All right, so I'm going to do that one there, and then actually let me go back one and open that in a new window. Link new window. NetAcad here should already be logged in. Should take me in, and then we'll open this one. We'll drag them beside each other. So our right side is Python 2, and left side is Python 1.1. So you'll see pretty much there's accept the terms, and then it is basics, introduction to Python computer programming, introduction Python data variables, types, basic operations, exactly the same. Boolean values, tuples, data processing. So everything in the basic section is the same. Move down to the intermediate section, and there's a little bit of difference. So modules, packages, strings, and list. Modules, packages, and pip are in part 2. And then you have a section on strings and list methods and exceptions, and then object-oriented programming. And then they have a miscellaneous that they added in. So that's really the difference, is that they've added in a miscellaneous section into Python Essentials 2, and they just broke it into Python Essentials 1, 4 modules, Python Essentials 2, 4 modules. This was done so if anybody wanted to just do the PCEP, they would know that these 4 modules relate to that exam, and then all 8 modules are necessary to do the Programming Essentials or PCAP exam. So you'll notice there's not a big difference. I would say go ahead and start using the version 2. As it does map to the newest PCAP exam of 31-03. Any questions on this? How many of you, show of hands or come off mute, how many of you are teaching Python right now? You can put it in chat if you want to, or you can come off mute, either one. How many of you are actually teaching Python right now? I got participants up, or you can also raise your hand. Let's see, we got 2, 3, we got, okay, Tracy, Autumn, Zachary. Okay, good, excellent. Excellent. Are you teaching, did you start using the 1.10 or the version 2 right now? Okay, Valerie, yep, you're teaching it in every high school, good. I would just say if you probably were using 1.10 in the spring, I would just transition to 2.0 in the fall, and it won't be a big change for you. Okay, you're not offering it right now, William. Okay. All right. Let's go back over here. So really, that's the big update on Python. The other big update is this. We are very excited to announce this. One of the problems that has been a big issue for the rollout of Programming Essentials in Python has been the voucher problem. And that is this: students who qualified would get a 50% discount, but the problem was paying the difference between their discount and what was left, which was roughly $147.50. We now have a process to where you can buy vouchers that are full discount vouchers. In other words, the voucher is $147.50 roughly. It actually gets cheaper if you buy them in bigger bulks. So right now you can buy them in 25s and 50s. I'm working with them to get it in purchase codes of 10, but you purchase them directly from Open EDG, and it is a full discount voucher. So the student really doesn't even have to score high enough to qualify for the discount. You can give them this voucher and it's the normal cost as if they had qualified for the discount voucher. They also now currently come with a free retake. They're good for 1 year from the date of purchase. And like I said, the larger numbers you purchase, the bigger the discount. If you buy them in a bulk of 50, they're as cheap as $138. I think it's $138.75. Right now, I have the contact information for the Open EDG person who can get you a quote and a voucher quote for that. One of the things we can do, though, we have options available, because maybe your school's not big enough to need 10 vouchers or 25 vouchers or 50 vouchers. One of the things that we have discussed with Open EDG is that we, Stanley Community College, could become a central point, and we could say, okay, you want 10 vouchers, you give us this amount of money, we'll order and give you 10 vouchers. And then that way we can buy them in bulk and give them out to the state at a reduced rate. We would make zero money on this. We're not trying to make any money at all. It would just be so that we could basically leverage the state's larger number of academies and students needing to take exams. We actually took out of my budget $3,600 and bought 25 vouchers back in the spring. I bought 25 vouchers and gave them out to both students and instructors who are teaching inside the state of North Carolina, already teaching and needing vouchers, because we got to a point at the end of last year, we realized we had made a mistake on my end and not having this set up to be able to get vouchers for you. So we spent our own money out of the Academy Support Center to make sure that the students in North Carolina were taken care of. Hopefully, if you had students who wanted to take the exam, you contacted me and you got some vouchers. If you didn't, I did purchase 25 more vouchers here recently for use. Are they purchased by school or by PSUs? Big Fat Virginia bulk discount. For us, the bulk discount, we actually purchase directly from Open EDG, so I'm not sure how that would, we can do it either way. We can do it by, if your school wants to purchase them, purchase 25 of them, you can do that, or we can try to purchase them in 50s. It just depends on what you want to do as schools. If you've got 25 students and you're going to need 25 of them, then you can just purchase them directly. What we've done here is I purchased them with my school P card, but you can also purchase them by purchase orders and normal ways. So I'm not real sure. I don't understand the PSU. Valerie, you want to come off mute and explain that?
Okay, yes. So in Union County, we have 10 high schools.
Okay.
Each school obviously is a net academy that's doing Python 2, the state's Python 2 curriculum. We did the 6 last year.
Gotcha.
So at that school, we might only have 20 kids taking Python 2 that would need a voucher.
Okay.
In Union County, though, we might have 120 that need. So that's why it would be a big discount for us if we could purchase it by the county.
Yes.
Then we would qualify with a much bigger bulk discount than we would if we have to purchase it by each individual school.
Yes, and you can do that. You can do it by county, most definitely.
Okay.
I kept saying school, but yes, you could do it in a countywide basis. And I don't know the bulk discount on like 100. I do know. Let me do real quick. I've got something over here. I can tell you the bulk discount on.
Well, we can get that later. I mean, we're going to have a conversation about this when we get our more exact enrollment numbers, so we know what we're talking about.
Right. Well, I can tell you if for 50, it's $67.99. So at 50, it's $135.98 a voucher. So you go to 100, it would probably be still a little bit less than that. So it's not that's fairly fairly reasonable, I think. And the
Yeah,
good news is,
but
like I
that's a
said,
big help if we can purchase it by Union County as one purchase and then we distribute it to the different schools versus having to do it by school.
most definitely, because what I've done with these that I have purchased here is I just send the codes out to the folks that wanted them. And then they go and register at a local Prometric View testing center. And then they're able to use that for their own students. So yes, you could definitely do that. No doubt.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Autumn, please email me at my email address right here and I will get you one. Okay. I have about 18 vouchers that remain unclaimed right now. So if you do have instructors who want a voucher for the PCAP, please have them email me and I will get them a voucher. We were happy to be able to provide free training this summer in Python to up to, I think it was 11 NCDPI instructors, and we're providing them with PCAP exams. In fact, we also had instructors who we gave free Security Plus training to, and we're providing them a free Security Plus voucher as part of that training this summer through the Carolina Cyber Network grant funds. Definitely, Autumn, email me and I will get you one. And if any of you have instructors who would like a voucher, please have them email me and I will try my best to get them. Or if you had students who completed in the spring and you know they want to take the exam, have them contact me or contact me and I'll try to get the vouchers out. The only thing I ask is that the vouchers get used. If I hand them out, even if you fail, I don't care. Take the exam so that the vouchers are used. The good news is they do come with a free retake, retake. So if you fail the first time, go take it again. I tell my students all the time, who's one of the greatest home run hitters of all time? We know it's Babe Ruth, right? He was also one of the highest strikeouts in the history of baseball. So you got to swing at the exams to pass them. So that's very important. Any questions about the PCAP exam vouchers? Email me and we will discuss with OpenEDG your particular needs for your school or school system. If there are smaller schools or systems that only have 1 or 2 schools, if you want to go in a couple school systems together, we can figure out your portion, and then I can purchase those and give those out to you. So we'll make it work for the state in the way that is best for you and for our students in the state of North Carolina. Any questions on the exam vouchers? None at all? Okay. All right. Well, the other thing we know is that we do have Introduction to IoT as part of the Programming Essentials in Python course that we suggested for the state of North Carolina. It does require Packet Tracer, which again was a problem due to the Chromebooks. So if you're having issues with that, we have the same solution for you as we have for the CCNA folks. We have the ability to give you access to free Packet Tracer pods. There's also a virtual machine that is used for a couple labs inside of the Introduction to IoT. We have not developed, well, actually we have developed a pod for it. As we're moving back into the classroom, I feel like that many schools will be able to run that locally. If not, we will do the same as we did with these Packet Tracer pods and we'll provide you access to it through our NetLab system at Stanley Community College. That is also something, if you are a Cisco Networking Academy in the state of North Carolina and you have, you're teaching your students and you think it would be useful to give them real gear access for your CCNA classes, we will do our best to share our NetLab system with your students as much as we can. And we try to help out, especially during COVID, we try to help as much as we can. So are there any questions about the Python updates or the Python class at the state level in North Carolina? That has been a wonderful project and I've been so happy to be part of it. I cannot, thank Kim and Linda enough for working with us and helping us to figure out a way to make this happen so that we can have it available to the state of North Carolina.
I have a question.
Go ahead. And who is this?
This is Autumn. I'm with Durham County Public Schools in North Carolina, and
Yes.
I guess I'm just a little unclear. With the Python, there are 2 different exams that has to be taken, or one is the fundamental and one is the essential?
There is just one. The PCAP is the one that we focus on. The students qualify to take both exams, but we only focus on the second one, the PCAP
Okay.
3103.
Okay.
They could technically go and take also the PCEP, but we just decided from a state level we felt like it'd be better to get the full PCAP instead of doing PCEP and then the PCAP. So
Okay.
this is the one we're trying to get them to, is to the full PCAP 3103.
Okay. All right. And that they can take that class as a first class, or do you take an introduction?
This is supposed to be the second Python class at the state of North Carolina level.
Okay.
So this is the advanced, the more advanced Python. The first class, if I'm not mistaken, actually is still using the Microsoft Academy
Yes.
content.
Okay.
So this is the second course, and there's some overlap between the two courses, but with if they're like my students, that's a good thing. But yeah, we decided to make the focus the PCAP exam, which you can go take after doing both of these sections.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Excellent question. Thank you. By the way, we have a really close relationship with Durham Tech. With the folks there. And they are a big Cisco Academy of ours. In fact, they were in a meeting I was in earlier this morning. So as you look to students to move forward, and those are some good contacts there. Just make sure your students tell them, hey, I've already been in the Cisco Academy, because they can carry that actual academy account with them as they move forward.
Okay.
So, all right, let's talk about some additional modules. Now, here's the beauty of being a Cisco Networking Academy. Once you become an academy, the entire portfolio is available for you to use. Now, I want to show you the entire portfolio because it's really kind of amazing when it really comes down to it. If you look at under resources, course resources, here is the entire portfolio available in the Cisco Networking Academy. CCNA was what used to be the total bread and butter of what we did. Now this older version of CCNA will very soon be going away, so you can just kind of ignore it. But version 7 is what we teach in the net classes now. Then all the way down to CCNP, we have a newer class called DevNet Associate, which is a programming, which is really designed more for becoming a software-defined networking, and it's really more of an advanced level course. We have Introduction to Cybersecurity and Cybersecurity Essentials. These courses, by the way, the great news is some of these require you to take instructor training. So if you look at Introduction to Networks, you will see that it says that you must have an instructor go and be qualified by completing training at an instructor training center. We are an instructor training center. So if you want to teach the Introduction to Networks for your Net 1 class or Net 2, we can get your instructor trained to do this. However, in the portfolio of classes are a large number of classes that require no instructor training. And one of the ones I want to really bring your notice to is Linux Essentials. Linux Essentials does not require your instructor to have training at a training center. It is also a completely free, self-contained 70-hour Linux module that you can use. If you have a class or any of your schools teaching A+, Linux Unhatched and Linux Essentials are both completely free and are excellent additions to those courses. If you're trying to teach a Linux operating system course, Linux Essentials is an excellent way to do that. The beauty of this is, as we look under the resources here, all these other courses we have too. So if you're running a Cybersecurity Essentials or cybersecurity class, you can actually, once you're a Cisco Academy, you can use these at no additional cost, and it doesn't require instructor training. So here's a 15-hour intro to cybersecurity. You can drop in any course you have, and there's no additional cost to use that. So I want to show you Linux Essentials. So here is Linux Essentials. It is a full Linux course. All right, you can see it talks about working in Linux, what open source is, navigating the file system. And as you get in here, you actually can go into the course itself. All right, so here's the course. And the great thing is all the content is right here. So here's your book. You don't have to purchase a book for your students. It's all available right here. And then over here, this is what is really, to me, what is one of the neatest parts of the entire class. When your students are inside the class, there is a full Linux virtual machine that boots up over here on the side that they can run and do their labs on. And in fact, if you see here, this lab right here, lab 7, when you click on it, the lab loads all the documentations on the left, and it boots up the little Linux machine on the right for the student to be able to do the lab. This means to teach this Linux course at your school, you don't have to load Linux on any machine in the classroom. You don't have to dedicate any machines to Linux. It's all self-contained inside of this Linux Essentials class. No additional charge. So you have the ability, if you are a Cisco Academy already teaching Python, program essentials in Python, you can add this course with very, very little work on your part. Okay, it won't pull up because this one's open. All right, but this is a full Linux course with exams, chapter exams, everything. Now, it does not map to a specific exam, although you can take the Linux Essentials certificate if you want to. There's a Linux Essentials through the LPI Institute that they can actually look at. I don't know what happened there, but here's through the LPI Institute, you're able to do that. But this course is no additional charge. And many of these courses inside of here are available for you to use without having to pay any additional funds. Some of them do require instructor training, like for instance, again, if you want to use the CCNA courses, or if you wanted to use some of the others. The other item I will tell you, if you want to teach A+, IT Essentials is an A+ course, and after August 31st, there will no longer be instructor training requirements. So if you've got someone already teaching A+, they will be able to use this IT Essentials class completely free in the spring or in the fall if they want to teach it. So IT Essentials, Linux Essentials, all of them are available and are available for you to use as free additional courses or modules. Either way, you can use them as a module or as a course. Are there any questions on those? Can you see anywhere that you could use these particular items inside of your curriculums?
And Kelly, just to verify, because I've already taken the IT Essentials instructor course.
Yes.
So if I have another high school that needs a teacher that's interested in teaching it, are you saying that she does not have to take the course?
Correct. They have removed it will be as of August 31st. But if you need an instructor who's going to start before them, get them in touch with us and we will get them accredited to teach it in the fall. Okay. So basically they're removing the instructor training requirement for IT Essentials in North America as of as of August 31st.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
As long as the big thing there is, as long as you're comfortable with that instructor teaching the course, that's really going to be our benchmark. We're going to say, do you feel like they're qualified to teach it? And if you feel so, then they'll be able to teach it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so that'd be great. Be excellent to add that. I will also tell you, was that Sharon that was talking?
Yes.
Sharon, I'll also tell you, likewise with all of our networking, our Net Labs items, we do have actual pods for IT Essentials. So if you find that you would like access to IT Essentials pods, let me know and we will get you set up on those.
And I do have a question, and I know over the past year, the only thing that I saw, and it may have been updated, when it came down to the hardware side of it, there were very few options, which I had to go another route to get students into a, real life situation.
Right.
As far as the labs.
Right.
Did that change any? It was more software based versus hardware.
That is still one of the problems we do have is we have, sorry, my phone was ringing there. We do have a, the problem with cell phones is they're very hard to turn off. We do have labs, but again, those labs are focusing more on the software side than on the hardware side.
Okay.
That's still a problem.
No, but there's a workaround with that. So I'm actually glad to hear that the additional teachers could actually be an instructor also at other schools.
Definitely. We can get them set up. So you just get in touch with me and we'll work with you.
Okay, thanks.
Excellent. Okay. Anyone else? Sorry, I didn't mean to, I jumped forward a little earlier. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
This is Autumn Williams.
Hey, Walter.
I have my CompTIA A+ certification. So now you're saying I can teach this at my school?
Yes, we will accredit you tomorrow, basically. If you will send me a copy of your A+ certification, I'll put you in a class and we'll do a quick fast track and we'll accredit you, and then you will be able to add this course at your school. Basically, we probably by the end of the week, we'd have you set up easily.
Okay.
No problem.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Just email me and you'll have my email address here in a minute. It's going to be at the very end. So no problem. If there happens to be any CTE directors on here, one of the things I will tell you is just contact me and we will work with you if you want to join the Academy program. I have a Word document that walks you through step by step how to become an Academy with videos on how to do certain steps that are a little bit difficult. We charge $300 a year per high school, or if you're a district, we do $600 a year for up to 6 schools, and then $100 for each school after the first 6. If you're going to offer Python, program essentials in Python, once you become an Academy, that's your fee. There's no additional fee per student. There's no additional fee per curriculum, none of that. So $300 a year gives you access to just what I showed you inside of the Networking Academy. It gives you access to this entire portfolio of resources that are available. If you ever wanted to learn about Introduction to IoT or Internet of Things, those are all here. Those classes exist already, and with labs that are there that you can use. So very important to understand that once you become a Cisco Academy, there's no additional fee on a per item basis. We don't try to do that. I will tell you that our instructor training center, if you do have to take a class with us to become certified or credited to teach in one of the courses that require accreditation, we charge $195.50 per class, which is the cheapest in North America. So it's the cheapest we found in North America. So we can get your instructors trained to do CCNA and the ones requiring that if they need it. If the course does not require instructor training, then you have no instructor training fee to use that course at all. Any questions? Okay, how about now? Any questions? This is my email address, kcaudle5282@stanley.edu. That is my phone number. I will be honest with you, we are technically on faculty break for the next 3 weeks. I will be in the office this entire week because I have another 2 presentations to give during the week with different groups. But if you will email me, I typically check email very quickly and respond to email more quickly than I do to voicemail, quite honestly, simply because it's on my phone and easy to get a hold of. But if you have any questions at all about our Academy program or about the Academy program, please reach out, let me know, and we will do everything we can to attempt to get you the answers. So let me go back over here with this. Are there any questions on CCNA updates, Python updates, additional modules, or becoming a Cisco Academy in the Cisco Networking Academy program?
I just have one more question.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, my school have been in part of the network program, but I've never had the opportunity to actually speak with someone. Everything was done online. And although I was the only teacher at the time, had they changed the name to, it used to be called what? Cisco Networking Academy. Is that the same thing? Or do we
Yeah,
have
Cisco
to
Networking Academy. And I don't know why you would not, Autumn, have not talked to me, because I've been the head of our Academy Sports Center in North Carolina for forever. Now, I don't know if Durham was under us, has been under us, for the entire time. I know there's been other Academy Sports Centers and those things, but we are the Academy Sports Center in North Carolina. And if you're under us, you should be receiving MailChimp emails. I usually send them out. Usually send out 3 or 4 a month through MailChimp. So if you're not under us, then we do have a way for you to associate with us. And I can tell you how to do that. But you are more than welcome to contact me with any questions about the Cisco Networking Academy, because we are the main point of contact in the state of North Carolina.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely.
I do get some of the emails, but I
Okay.
wasn't sure because I had signed up with my, I guess I have to go back and look underneath my membership, underneath my profile account.
Right. Yeah. See what email, because that will be where the MailChimp emails go.
Okay.
So that is important. If you're under netacad.com and you look under my profile, whatever email that is where my emails will go to.
Okay.
So, and if you want to change that, you can easily change it inside of there, but it is very important that that's the email we're sending our information to.
Okay, great. Thank
So
you
for
so
instance,
much.
I'll give you a great example. Like I said, I just sent out an email at the beginning of the summer that would have given free Security Plus and free Python training. And if all you had to do was contact me, and we had a grant available that paid for I think it was ended up being 25 slots across both classes. For
I
instructors.
think I saw that, but it was closed by the time I got to it. I remember that.
And
It's like
that does happen
it's
too.
full. It was full fast.
Yeah, and that does happen. It does get full. We've actually offered those since January, roughly about 280 instructor training scholarship positions that we have done and paid for instructors in not just North Carolina, obviously, because we support 14 states, but all throughout our supported area, we have provided free training, not only through Cisco grants, where they've given us grants to provide training when Jesse's really helped with that, up through NSF grants. We have an NSF grant that unfortunately is running out. And then this Carolina Cyber Network grant that we've been part of. We're always writing into our grants instructor training to make sure we can provide that training for instructors who need it and want it. So,
thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions or comments? We got about 8 minutes left, so we got plenty of time for questions if you have any. You want to see anything inside of NetAcad that you're interested in or have questions about? We got a little bit of time here. If not, like I said, I just really appreciate everyone being here. I thank you very much for all your hard work this year. I know it's been, it was funny this morning, we were in a meeting and somebody said something about, last year is just a mulligan. Well, I wish we could say it was a mulligan, but it's not, because it was probably one of the hardest years I know you've worked and the hardest years that we've worked. We have been extremely busy, and I know you have too. So we appreciate all of your work. I look forward to working with everybody in the state to make the program essentials in Python and all of Cisco academies highly effective and useful for you. So, are there any questions? Let's see, just got a chat here. Let me see what's under chat. Any questions? Thanks. I'm gonna stop my share and that'll pull up everything here. Okay, everyone. Well, I'll give you the rest of the day back, and give me 1 second. Jesse, again, thank you for being here.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
This is fantastic. So great job, Kelly. And I really hope that everyone takes advantage of all the incredible things that you've been able to do in unison with the NetAcad. And, the PCAP vouchers I'm so happy that worked out. And,
Definitely.
Again, congrats on the Golden Bridge Award, and, very well deserved.
Thank you.
I think that you know that. And, it's been an honor and a pleasure continue to work with you guys. And, I love North Carolina. My wife is from there, so we try to get out there often. And I used to be an engineer that used to work out of Raleigh. So always happy to come back and visit. And I really look forward to hopefully the state conference.
Yes. And that is something next year. Next year, we will have a statewide meeting that takes place. It happens right before the North Carolina Computer Instructors Association meeting, which I know that says North Carolina Computer Instructors, which typically means in community college, but we actually invite our high school counterparts to come to the North Carolina Computer Instructor Association meeting. But we have a meeting, it will be at Forsyth Tech. It will be the day before the NCCIA, and I will get you the dates on that, but it's typically in April or March or April. I think this year it's in April. And so I'll get the dates out to everybody as we get closer, but we'll have a one-day meeting where we all get together, have a day. We provide you breakfast, we provide you lunch. We get together and we talk about, do the updates in person. We do that every year. We didn't do it obviously last year or the year before. Well, the year before, actually, we did do it.
Good.
COVID was hitting right when we were having our meeting. In fact, we were given the option of going home or staying, and we stayed till the meeting was over. But last year we were not able to do the meeting, but this year we will definitely be having an in-person meeting unless the world blows up. You know, I can't promise anything, but if we can meet in person, we're going to meet in person this year.
Right.
It'll be in 2022, but we will be meeting as part of our ASCITC meeting.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, it's interesting you say that because I remember when Cisco gave the order to 70,000 or so employees at this time. My manager and I were literally gonna fly out the next morning, and just the day before, like around 3 o'clock, we received the text message from our CEO. All travel canceled across the globe. And, you know, it was just a shame, but yes, I'm definitely looking forward to. We're hopeful that the status for right now is we're looking at December as of this year as to when we can start traveling again. So hopefully that'll stay on track, and that we can visit with you all in April. So really looking forward to that.
Excellent. We've had all kind of crazy things. We've had ice storms. We've had pandemics. It seems like our meeting has to adapt and overcome all the time. So
yeah, the one time I flew out there, it was ice storm. It was a huge ice storm. I'm driving in ice.
Crazy.
I'm like, I'm from Florida. I don't need to be doing that.
Yeah.
But and then another time I had to cancel because of an ice storm. So you know, hey, it is what it is, right?
And that was in Raleigh. I remember that being in Raleigh years ago. So.
Right. Exactly. So.
All right. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna stop the recording.